Why? I wonder, can everybody see me the same? Hi, everybody. This is Positive Ashley. Tuning in to give my reflection of my first ministry conference. This is hosted by my church, Faith Inspirational. And this is the first women's conference that they've put on. And this is hosted by Pastor Natalie, Pastor Rayford's wife. And I want to share my experience of what day one slash day two has been, and also what I have been feeling in regards of my first trip away from home, away from my baby. So if you have been unaware, I have been a stay-at-home mom for the past 2 years, and what that entails is, like, the day in, day out with my child. So we're never really apart. I'm like with her 90% of the time. The other 10%, she's with her dad, or my mom, or my grandma. And the longest I've been without her is probably overnight, and that's like super rare. So the fact that I'm on my first trip, no baby, I'm just like, wow, how did we get here? How is it that I'm like not overly emotionally struggling, but when I was telling my baby I'm leaving, she said, bye, mommy. See you later. And that like hurt my feelings, but also like, wow, she's becoming independent enough to be okay without me. So if you didn't know, I breastfed for about 21 months. We weaned in March, and it was like a kind of straight shoot wean. But I have been preparing her to fully wean, and so I think that being the first step, and having a few months before my first trip, which was unplanned. I did not know that I was going to my first ministry conference. Um, but I think those steps helped align for me to completely um, go on my first trip without her. Did I cry? Yes, I did. Not in front of her, because I didn't want her to cry. And I cried on the way up here. I kind of tossed and turned a little bit. Like, y'all, my first time sleeping away from me, I cried. And I think that's very normal and natural, especially with stay-home moms. And you're with your baby day in, day out. So I'm really proud of myself for like not bringing her along. I could have brought her. It was very much welcomed. There are like two other moms that have their kids here, but I'm proud of myself for moving past that discomfort of like wanting to bring her along, because this experience, me being at my first ministry conference, this was for me. And when you're a parent, you're always like on guard. You have to be hat on. So the fact that I can fully immerse myself in this experience without being a mom, like on site, I feel just free. Like, I'm happy. And at first I felt like, oh, I shouldn't feel happy, but not in a bad way. You know what I mean? So I'm really proud that I'm here, I'm in the moment, and I get to tell you guys about this conference, because if she was here, I probably would not be live, to be honest. I'd probably be doing things with Bean in between our free time. So let's dive into it. What is this conference about? The conference name is the Women of Wisdom and Wellness. Okay? Wow. Okay, that is the acronym. The Women of Wellness. And the whole focus is wellness. So I'm not necessarily on a vacation. This is not a retreat. This is to be in direct alignment with God, receive what God has for me. And yesterday we tapped in on what is wellness according to the Bible. Now I'm paraphrasing of what Pastor Raven had explored, and I wish I had my notes exactly where to find where she was speaking of. I can add them in the description afterwards. Now, give me some time because it may not be uploaded as far as the description properly until later. But wellness in the Bible is being in action to being alignment with what's within. Okay? And how we decipher that is simply listening to our body and being active action to be healthier, to be spiritually aligned, to be mentally aligned, having all of those things in hygiene. So there's a sleep hygiene, there are physical hygienes, there's all these different types of hygienes, that just sounded weird to put an S, but all of these different components is what makes up our wellness. And if we are mentally, physically, all of the things making us be confused or run down or run over, we are not in active wellness. Okay? So what that means and how I received it is when you are not one with self, you're not one with God, you are scatterbrained, you are confused, you are in misalignment, and when you are misalignment, things can just go left. Okay, so this whole retreat is about wellness and starting with God being the center of your alignment, so that way other things can fall into place with wellness. So day one was just a welcome. From 6 to 10, we were praising God, got to know some of our speakers, amazing speakers, by the way. One of them are actually from my other church that I used to attend, Faith Inspirational in Inglewood, if you know about that. So it's really beautiful to see all of these women come together to pour into our spirit, to help us be aligned with the Word of God and just help us piece up some things. Now, day two. Oh, where's my bag? So we got these little goodie bags. Show you here. I didn't open it yet. I waited exactly until I came to do this live to open it. Like I peeked through, but I didn't do all of the things. So this is our welcome with the itinerary and our speakers. So we have Pastor Natalie up there. We have Dr. Stephanie Douglas. She just spoke today. Amazing, phenomenal. We have Raven Owens, and she's a minister at our church as well. We have Pastor Deidre Turner and Dr. Crystal Walker, who is doing our workshops. Really excited to get into my workshop because I found out with my card and how they explained it, in our bags we have these Saturday or Friday written on our cards, and that is supposed to demonstrate when you go to your workshop. So mine is tomorrow, some women are today, and we've been instructed to open this scroll. I like that little spin on it because, you know, Bible scroll back then. We're supposed to open this scroll. It's my first time opening it, and with this QR code we are to scan it and do an assessment, which Dr. Crystal will use to help us navigate through the workshop. Now, the name of the workshop is not specified, but the assessment is called the Saboteur Assessment, created by Positive Intelligence, which helps you identify the self-sabotaging thought patterns that may be holding you back. These patterns were often brilliant survival strategies developed by a younger version of you to keep you safe. Now, this is really pivotal because earlier this year, I completed a book called The Mountain Is You. Check it out. I forgot who it was by. I don't want to give the wrong name, but Mountain is You is talking about the things that you probably want to accomplish, but somewhere psychologically you are self sabotaging yourself, holding yourself back, telling yourself things, or creating excuses that keep you from excelling and being your best self. I think this is a great self help book to refer to maybe once a year or read it more than once because the gems were really good. Not too long of a book, but definitely worth the read. So the fact that this workshop is about self sabotaging and the assessment is directing you in regards of revealing your pattern so that way you can move out of that. And I'm pretty sure they're going to have some scripture to align you with what is actually going on. So I'm really excited for my workshop tomorrow with Dr. Crystal. Also in our bags, we have a pin from the Renaissance. Haven't opened this shirt, so let's take a look at what this shirt has on it. Oh, this is pretty. Women of Wellness. Love this cute logo. And I love that the colors are purple. You know, purple is royalty, queen-like colors. And tomorrow, we have been instructed to wear these shirts all day to represent. I got some pins that will go with this perfectly. And then we have a raffle ticket that we've been instructed to carry around with us all day for prizes. They started giving away prizes yesterday. I feel like I'm going to be a winner today, or somewhere before this session is over. So I am going to be here until Sunday. Really grateful for that because it's literally like a 3.5 day conference. And hey girl, hey. I'm really excited to be in this 3-day conference and what I've been feeling since I've been here. Like, let me tell y'all the journey to get here, okay? So, one of my church friends by the name of Malika, I met her at church, and she reached out to me like, I'm gonna say in April sometime, and I missed the text. But she pretty much said that she wanted to sponsor my ticket to this conference. Missed the text. By the time I actually saw the text, it was like the end of May, and I'm like, oh, I'm just now seeing this text. Like, a part of me, a part of my bucket list goals for the year was to attend a ministry conference. I thought about attending Sarah Jake Roberts, her Evolve conference, which is usually in Texas. I don't know if it's switching lanes this year, but I wanted to attend that one. But that was the only ministry conference I knew about. So the fact that my church was hosting one, didn't know about that, and that one of my church friends wanted to, I want to stop calling her a church friend. I only call her a church friend because that's where I met her at. But she's a friend that I have that I met at church. So the fact that she was sponsoring a ticket for me, like, that just meant the world because I'm like, whoa, how in alignment is that? She didn't even know I wanted to go to a ministry conference this year, but she knows where I am trying to go faith-wise. She's in support of that, and the fact that she got this ticket and wanted to sponsor me, I'm like, oh, of course I'm going. Like, I don't even care what time of the year it is, I am going. So luckily, when I responded back to her in May, although she sent the text message in April, there was still time to secure the ticket. She has secured it for me, but then the next week, my car engine blew out. Just big red stopped working. And I hadn't had a car note or anything like, you know, huge major car issues for years. So the fact that that happened, I'm like, oh, snap it. Dang. Okay, well, I'm still going to this conference. Like, I'm not sure, you know, what the logistics are going to look like, but I'm still going to go. That's God working. Amen, Jessica, to that. So my car engine blew out, but I'm still like, okay, I'm going to the conferences in July. More than enough time to figure out if I'm going to go ahead and get a new car. Don't want a car note. Or, you know, just what. So, in my mind, because Malika knew that my car engine blew out, that we were going to ride together. My mistake. Like, I'm totally owning that. My mistake. Maybe a week before the conference, we touched bases, and she's like, did you check to see if like your ride situation? I was like, oh dang, I thought we were riding together, but that text just clarified like, oh, we're not, and which I'm okay with. I'm one of those like solo type of people. I don't mind being by myself. So I was like, okay, no problem, because at this time right now I still didn't have a car, because I was kind of stuck in between, like, do I want a car note? I really don't want to go back to a car note. Do I want to go to one of those like dealerships to just like get a car real quick? I'm like, I don't know if I want, like, a used car. So options, right? So moving forward, I was trying to make a quick decision, but God was like, you don't have to make a definite decision right now about that. So I reached out to my aunt, who's a travel agent, and she was like, oh, yeah, I can find you a rental car, no problem. Found me a rental car for $126 from Thursday to Monday. Cheapest rental car I've ever gotten ever in my life, like a quote like that. Same day, God was like, ask your mom, can you use her car? So I asked my mom. She was like, oh, okay, sure, no problem. Like, I'm okay with that. So I say all that to say it was like a challenge of getting here. Not a big one, but just a small one. Because I could have easily, if I was like in a lower vibration, like, oh, I can't go, I don't have a car, I don't know how to get there. But as I'm like trying to figure out my options, Malika was like, hey, the church has a bus that's gonna take some people up there. See if you can get on the bus. Bus is full. Found out literally this past Monday. So I'm still going back to because mind you, if I don't have to drive, perfect. I don't want to drive. But since that was full, I was like, okay, let me go back to my other options. Mom's car or rent a car. Mom's car or rent a car. Either way, I'm going to be spending money in gas, some type of exchange. So I decided to go ahead and rent a car. That went smooth, that went flawless, and mind you, we're in a Mercury retrograde, so things like often try to mix you up with some things. So get in a car. It only takes 2 hours to get to LA to Palm Springs. Y'all, I picked the wrong time to go. I literally looked at my map like maybe an hour prior to I decided to go and saw that it was no traffic. It was only 2 hours. And that was going to be great because check-in was at 4. I left at 1:30 in the afternoon, and I was in traffic for like 4 hours, I think. I didn't make it to Palm Springs till like 5:20, 30ish. Long time for me to be in a car. Didn't have my fast track thing, so that just made the journey even longer. But I am here, okay? Nothing was gonna stop me from getting here. Whether I had to take an Amtrak, rent a car, borrow a car, I was going to get here. Even if I had to go get me a car, if God said it was the time to get the car, I was gonna go ahead and get the car. But he told me to wait. I didn't have to make a huge decision. And that's right, that was the devil trying to intervene, cause havoc, and make me give up. But I'm a resilient individual. They don't call me Positive Ashley for nothing. Resources come to me from nowhere when I need them, and I love that for me. So today's message that I want to share with that I received at the conference thus far is where my shoe? I don't know where my shoes are. They're probably at the front door because I don't like wearing shoes inside. So you like my outfit, right? Really cute. I brought some shoes that I know that like kind of hurts my feet. Not instantly when I put them on, but like after walking for a while. In the middle of the conference of today's message, I received something really intriguing. Yesterday, Malika asked me, what is my purpose of being at the conference? Like, what do I want to receive? What am I hoping to get? And I said that I am looking to receive God speaking to me and not whispering. I want to hear the directions clearly. If you want me to stop doing this, if you want me to start doing that, I want to hear the message out loud. I don't want a whisper. I want you to speak to me. That is what I told her. She was like, okay, I received that, sis. I hope you get that. So today, I put on the shoes that I had. Maybe, I'm gonna say like 3 hours, 4 hours later, I believe it was Raven speaking, and she was pretty much, no, it wasn't Raven. It was Pastor Stephanie Douglas, a powerful woman. She had said that, I have it right here, the hardest things for women to do is admitting they need help. Women are struggling with that because they have internal issues. I don't really think that's my personal struggle all the time, I will say, but I do know that that is like a commonality that people face. So, as I'm hearing her talk, my feet started to hurt. And she started saying things like, you've had enough. Let go of what's not serving you. Like, as soon as you let it go, things will be easier, they'll be harder. I took my shoes off because I'm like, this is irritating me. I don't know why I still have these shoes when I know after a period of time they hurt. So as I'm listening and listening, I see Malika pointing to me and she is like, that's for you. That is for you. It was for me. What I received with the shoe analogy was, why am I holding on to things that simply do not fit? The shoes felt good the moment I put them on, but hours later, they create a discomfort. And it started making me think of all the different things in my life that I've held on to because they felt good, they looked good at that time. But a few hours later, a few days later, maybe a few months later, they are creating so much discomfort in my life that I'm trying to keep them so they can fit. They don't fit. I cannot make it fit. It doesn't matter how long I wear these shoes, after a certain period of time, they create a discomfort. Why am I allowing this discomfort to stay into my life? At that very moment, I said, I'm going to throw away these shoes. The moment I get back into my hotel room, they have got to go in the trash because they do not serve me. The purpose of shoes are to carry you, walk you, and to be a part of your journey and create comfort. That's why we buy shoes. That's why we look at them and like, oh, these soles are nice. It has nice cushions. Yeah, for fashion reasons, we like them as well. But the sole purpose of a shoe is to give us enough comfort to get us to A to B. Why would I put myself in discomfort on the way to A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Those are not my favorite shoes. They're name brand, yes, they do look cute, but after so long, they create a discomfort. And after this weekend, after today, after that moment, I am no longer willing to distract myself. I don't know if that's a distraction, but I'm no longer willing to sit in places or situations that are a discomfort to me. Now, is that for me to say I'm not willing to sit in challenging situations? No, that's completely different. What I'm saying is I am unwilling to take certain people's attitudes. I'm unwilling to wear things that no longer fit me. I'm no longer willing to accept the minimum or what's the other word I'm looking for? I'm unwilling to do things that are causing a discomfort that is not creating active wellness. And I think you have to feel where I am or be in the same kind of position that I've been there to understand what I'm saying. Yes, I'm no longer allowing things to fester. I am not. And what I kept hearing, I wrote down some things that I kept hearing that resonated with me, whether I heard somebody say it on stage or whether I heard it around me or someone saying directly to me. And I will say the moment that I realized and I accepted that I'm no longer to accept these discomforts that cause havoc in my life, I started melting. I started surrendering to God, like the tears that were leaving my body. I started doing tapping over my body, on my head, on my face. I started to wail. I started to feel the weight in the water that I had been on and within this journey. And I felt lighter. I felt this release that I've been needing to release and I've been needing to accept to move forward. And I'm so thankful for that. What I also felt is with being in a room full of women, the divine forces that we are as feminine beings, praising God, speaking of God, receiving Him all in the same room, 200 and something women in the same room, accepting the same um, scriptures and wisdom, but applying it to where we are in our lives. I felt so empowered to be connected. I felt so empowered to touch people, for them to feel me, for us to wail together, for us to speak life into one another. We are powerful beings. For to hear so many women to say I've had enough, that I am surrendering, that I am sacrificing to be obedient to God, I knew I was in the right place at the right time. So I'm gonna read what are the things that I've been hearing since this morning. Um, there it is. In the desert of isolation, I find myself in God, where I need to be. I'm in the desert. I said I was going to find some scriptures that talk about being in the desert, but I know that there are certain stories in the Bible that talk about people being by themselves, in lonesome, needing God and Him speaking to them. It is not yours to have. You have to let it go. Ask Him for help. Don't get caught up in what's next. God will meet you with what's next. God is next. And throughout the challenge, I came to get here. This is something personally I wrote. But throughout the challenge I came against to get here, I made it, and I'm leaving different. And I feel that to the seat of my sacral. And I'm just really just profound at how God moves, how He has been moving through me, how I know I have a testimonial or testament within my life and have seen Him move through my life. And whew, I'm ready for the next phase of this conference. I'm ready to do better, to show up better, and to move through God as He's the pilot. I'm the co-pilot. I'm listening to the pilot's directions to get me from A, B, C, and D. And yeah, I'm thankful. I'm full of thanks. I'm full of love. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm going to go live later for the day 2, like the full day 2 of all the other things and messages that I heard. And I was just, oh, excuse me. I was enlightened to share that because somebody else may be in that journey where they have to strive for it, doesn't know what's next, and needs to stop making things try to fit. Know that if something was meant to work the way that it was, it wouldn't have as much resistance. But I know I came here with a little like resistance from the universe, like like I have to move around. So it's not to say that things won't come with challenges. It's just certain things when they're supposed to be, it'll flow. And I feel like since I've actually made it here, it's been able to flow. So I'm sending positivity into everybody's life today. I love you too, Jessica, and I'm really, really proud of you and your growth as well. And I hope I get to see you at least one more time before I leave Palm Springs. I'm here until Sunday, y'all. I'll have more messages to come and unfold. If you want to see what hotel I'm at, I'm going to do a travel vlog covering the specs and the cute things that I've been able to see. And I can't wait to come back live. Mwah! Have a great positive Friday.